Have you ever truly paused to think about it? That one thing you do every single day, on autopilot, that might be quietly destroying your heart from the inside out? We all have a routine. You brush your teeth, you grab your coffee, you scroll through your phone. But what if one of those harmless habits was slowly, systematically turning your body's strongest muscle into its weakest link? Today, we have a leading heart surgeon here who is going to pull back the curtain on this silent saboteur. Dr. David Miller, thank you for joining us.
It's my duty to have this conversation, Sarah. Too many people are learning these lessons too late.
And that's what's so terrifying. This isn't always a dramatic, sudden event, is it? You've described it to me before in a way that I can't forget.
That's correct. And that's what makes these mistakes so dangerous. People feel fine, they're enjoying their day, and they miss the early signs. You see, a heart attack doesn't always roar into your life. More often than not, it whispers first. A little shortness of breath, a strange fatigue, all while an invisible countdown is happening inside their own bodies.
Ignoring the whispers, while, as you put it, they are oblivious to the ticking time bomb inside their own bodies. That is the exact phrase you used, and it's chilling. That is why we are here today, to help you hear those whispers before they become a roar. Dr. David Miller is going to expose the top 7 daily mistakes that are putting hearts at risk right now. We'll count them down, all the way to the number 1 most dangerous habit you must ditch immediately. What you learn in the next few minutes could literally be the difference between life and death. Let's begin. Dr. David Miller, what is mistake number 7?
Mistake number 7 is one that millions of people make the second their alarm goes off. Skipping morning stretching. They leap out of bed, where their body has been resting horizontally for hours, and immediately dive into the vertical chaos of the day. This abrupt transition is a shock to the system. There's a fascinating field of study on vascular mechanics, and it shows that overnight, due to fluid shifts and hormonal changes, our arteries can become slightly tight and less pliable. Jumping straight into activity forces the heart to pump hard against these rigid, unprepared vessels. Think of it like trying to bend a cold, brittle rubber band. It's stiff and could even snap. But if you warm it up first, it becomes flexible and resilient. Your arteries are the same.
That is a fantastic analogy. A cold, brittle rubber band. So, that feeling of grogginess isn't just in our heads, it's physically in our circulatory system.
Precisely. That daily strain forces the heart to work harder, day after day. It's a subtle form of abuse that, over months and years, can contribute to elevated blood pressure and accelerate wear and tear on the cardiac muscle. The fix is remarkably simple. A 2-minute wake-up call for your arteries. Before you even touch your phone, stand up, do a big overhead stretch to open your chest, some gentle shoulder rolls to release tension around the major vessels in your neck and upper back, and a simple forward bend to lengthen your hamstrings. This is an exercise, it's physiological preparation for the day.
So the key takeaway here is that our heart needs a gentle start just as much as our mind does. 2 minutes to protect our heart from a day of unnecessary strain sounds like the best health investment anyone can make. Now, what about mistake number 6? I feel this is another major part of the American morning routine.
It certainly is. Mistake number 6 is drinking coffee on an empty stomach. For millions, that first cup is a non-negotiable ritual. But from a cardiovascular standpoint, it can be incredibly harsh. When you introduce a powerful stimulant like caffeine into an empty system, it's absorbed almost instantly. This triggers a massive, unnatural surge of stress hormones, primarily cortisol and adrenaline. While cortisol naturally helps us wake up, this magnified spike sends your heart into overdrive. Your heart rate jumps, your blood pressure climbs. This isn't a gentle wake-up, it's a physiological alarm bell. Over time, this daily hormonal roller coaster promotes chronic low-grade inflammation, which is now understood to be a primary culprit in damaging the delicate lining of our arteries.
Wow, so that morning jolt we crave is actually a physiological stress signal if we're not careful. That's frightening.
It can be. I had a patient, a high-achieving lawyer in her 50s, who came to me with persistent heart palpitations. We ran a battery of tests, ECGs, stress tests, and structurally, her heart was fine. After digging into her daily routine, I discovered she was drinking 3 strong espressos before 9 a.m., all on an empty stomach while rushing to court. Her body was living in a constant state of fight or flight. The solution wasn't a pill, it was a prescription for breakfast. We had her eat a small bowl of Greek yogurt and a handful of almonds before her first coffee. 2 weeks later, the palpitations had vanished. The protein and healthy fat acted as a buffer, slowing the caffeine absorption and preventing that damaging hormonal surge.
That's incredible. So the conclusion for our audience is simple. That first cup of coffee needs a partner to protect our heart. Give it a co-pilot like protein or fat to ensure a smooth takeoff for your day, not a stressful launch. Okay, what about mistake number 5?
Mistake number 5 is ignoring hydration throughout the day. This might sound basic, but its importance is profound. Your heart muscle itself is about 73% water. Even a slight 1 to 2% drop in hydration, which is often too small to trigger a strong thirst signal, decreases your blood volume. This forces your blood to become thicker, more viscous. The American College of Cardiology often emphasizes that this thick blood not only raises your blood pressure because it's harder to pump, but it also reduces the efficiency of oxygen and nutrient delivery to every organ, including your brain. That's a key reason why dehydration often leads to fatigue and brain fog. It's not just a lack of energy, it's a literal traffic jam in your bloodstream. And no, coffee and soda do not count. They can actually make it worse.
That's a huge realization. So when we're feeling foggy or tired in the afternoon, our first thought shouldn't be more caffeine, but a big glass of water. Our heart and our brain are literally thirsty. It's amazing how these simple things are so interconnected. Let's move to the end of the day. What is mistake number 4?
This is the habit of eating late-night snacks, specifically heavy, sugary, or high-fat foods within 2 hours of bedtime. During sleep, your body is supposed to be in rest and repair mode. Your heart rate and blood pressure should naturally dip, giving the cardiac muscle a much-needed break. However, when you eat a heavy meal late at night, you force your body to run a massive digestive process. This diverts blood flow to your stomach and keeps your system on high alert. It essentially prevents that crucial overnight blood pressure dip. Some compelling studies on circadian rhythms have confirmed that this disruption is a significant risk factor for developing hypertension over time. You're essentially forcing your heart to work a night shift when it's supposed to be in the repair shop.
The repair shop. I love that. So we're robbing our heart of its essential maintenance time. That makes so much sense. So the kitchen needs a closing time, just like a restaurant. What's mistake number 3? This one seems to be a hallmark of modern life.
It is. Mistake number 3 is sitting for hours without moving. I call this the silent danger of the modern world. Here's the critical point that recent research has exposed. The damage from prolonged, uninterrupted sitting is independent of whether you exercise later. You cannot erase 8 hours of sedentary behavior with a 1-hour workout. When you sit for long periods, blood naturally pools in your legs. To counteract this, your body has a second heart, your calf muscles. Every time you walk or even just flex your feet, these muscles contract and squeeze the veins in your legs, physically pushing blood back up to your heart against gravity. When you sit still, that second heart is completely turned off. This puts all the burden back on your main heart and contributes to arterial stiffness and impaired metabolism of fats and sugars in the blood.
The second heart. That's such a brilliant and memorable concept. It completely reframes how I see my legs. It's not just about laziness, it's about turning off a vital piece of our circulatory machinery. That's a wake-up call for everyone with a desk job.
It truly is. The solution is what I call movement snacks. Set a timer for every 30 minutes. When it goes off, just stand up. That alone re-engages the system. Do 20 calf raises while you read an email. Walk around your office or home while on a phone call. These micro breaks are more important than one single block of exercise.
So, it's about frequency, not just duration. Fantastic advice. We're down to the final two, and I know these are heavy hitters. What is mistake number 2?
Mistake number 2 is an invisible assassin, neglecting stress management. Let's be very clear. Stress is not just a feeling, it's a physical, chemical event. Every time you experience stress, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. Think of your heart as a high-performance engine. These stress hormones are like pouring a trickle of sand into the gas tank. One instance won't stop the car, but doing it every day, all day long, will clog the fuel lines and eventually lead to catastrophic engine failure. That's what chronic stress does. It creates a state of constant, low-grade inflammation that damages arterial walls and paves the way for plaque buildup. This isn't pseudoscience. It's pure physiology.
That's a terrifying analogy. Sand in the gas tank. So stress isn't just a mood we need to get over. It's a corrosive substance we need to actively wash out of our system. How do we do that?
With active, intentional stress hygiene, and it can start with just 5 minutes. The practice of deep, diaphragmatic breathing has been clinically shown to stimulate the vagus nerve, which acts as the body's natural brake pedal. Inhale slowly for 4 counts, hold gently for 4, and exhale for 6 counts. That longer exhale is key. Doing this for just a few minutes can physically lower your heart rate and blood pressure. It's a way of telling your body the threat is over, you can stand down. This is essential maintenance.
Essential maintenance. I love that. Okay, Dr. David Miller, we are at the number 1 spot. The mistake you said is the most dangerous, the one that can undo all our other good efforts. What is it?
The single most dangerous mistake, the one that is the foundation for either health or disease, is overlooking the quality of your sleep. Sleep is not passive downtime. It is the only time your heart and vascular system can engage in deep cellular repair. It's when your body clears out metabolic waste from the brain, resets your hormonal balance, and, most importantly, reduces inflammation in the lining of your blood vessels. When you consistently get less than 6 or 7 hours of quality sleep, you rob your heart of this essential maintenance window. The National Sleep Foundation's data is undeniable. Chronically poor sleepers can have up to double the risk of a heart attack. It is the equivalent of running that high-performance engine 24/7 and never ever letting it cool down or changing the oil. Eventually, a critical part will fail.
So sleep isn't just time off for our brains. It's the most active and important maintenance shift for our heart. That completely changes its priority from a nice-to-have to an absolute must-do. It truly is the foundation.
It is the absolute foundation. You can have a perfect diet and exercise routine, but if your sleep is poor, you are fighting an uphill battle against inflammation and hormonal imbalance. To protect your heart, you must protect your sleep. Create a sanctuary. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. Turn off all screens an hour before bed. Establish a consistent schedule. Your heart thrives on rhythm. Giving it the rhythm of quality sleep is the number 1 thing you can do for a long, healthy life.
Wow. That is an incredibly powerful and, frankly, life-altering list. From stretching in the morning to protecting our sleep at night. Dr. David Miller, thank you for explaining these things in a way that is so clear and so urgent.
The pleasure was mine. The most important message is that all of these things are within your control. You hold the power.
He's right. You hold the power. It's not about a massive, intimidating overhaul. It's about fixing one small mistake at a time. It's about choosing life, one simple decision at a time. If this conversation opened your eyes, please give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to Health Voices so you never miss these life-saving discussions. Share it with someone you love. It could be the most important message they receive all week. And now, we want to hear from you. What is the one mistake from this list that you are going to commit to changing, starting today? Let's hold each other accountable. Share your commitment in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on Health Voices. Stay strong, stay mindful, and take care of your heart. We'll see you next time.